distance. Shine your light, healing the hurting as we go. We will bring hope, changing lives, telling the hearts full of sorrow that tomorrow it'll be alright. Hand joining hand all together, we're helping to bring hope alive. Do what you can, make a difference, spend this instant, shine a light, healing the hurting as we go. We will bring hope, changing lives, telling the hearts full of sorrow that tomorrow it'll be alright. Hand joining hand all together, we're helping to bring hope alive. Shine a light, oh, 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 shine a light, shine your
Hi kids, it's Teacher Alex. Nice to see you guys again. Hope you guys had a great time with Teacher Debbie last week. I know I'm definitely missing you guys. I'm going to send you a big air hug. And hopefully you guys felt that this morning. But I wanted to talk about our lesson today. So we're going to watch a short video about somebody named Joseph. You guys might have heard of him, maybe not. But we're going to watch a video and then we're going to talk about what we can learn from his story. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit.
The Faithful Hall of Fame, Joseph. This is Joseph, who was the son of Israel and Rachel. But he had 11 brothers who hated him and sold him into slavery. After being put in jail, Joseph told of the future of Egypt when he interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, and Joseph found favor with the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh made Joseph a leader in his kingdom. Just as Joseph had told the Pharaoh, Egypt had 7 years of abundance. Then the 7 years of abundance came to an end, and the 7 years of famine began, just as Joseph had said. But the Egyptians had food to eat because Joseph had planned for the famine. There was famine in all the other lands, and many came to Joseph to buy food. There was even a famine in the land that Joseph came from. So when Israel heard that there was grain in Egypt, he sent his sons to buy some. But Israel did not send Benjamin with the others because he was afraid that harm might come to him. When Joseph's brothers came to him, Joseph recognized them, but he pretended to be a stranger. So Joseph decided to test his brothers. He had his interpreter tell them to send for Benjamin, who had stayed home. And then he threw his brothers in jail for 3 days. On the 3rd day, Joseph let all but one of the brothers take grain to their starving households with the instruction to bring Benjamin back. But Joseph provided for his brothers' journey and gave them grain and silver. The brothers did exactly as Joseph instructed, as they were scared that God was punishing them for what they had done to Joseph so many years before. They traveled home to their father's house, then back to Egypt. Now that he had seen that they brought Benjamin, Joseph was overwhelmed, so he released the brother who was still in prison. But Joseph decided to play one more trick on his brothers. He sent the brothers away but told his servant to hide his silver cup in Benjamin's bag. Then Joseph told the servant to go after the brothers and retrieve the cup. The brothers hadn't traveled far before the servant stopped them and accused them of stealing the cup. Joseph could no longer control himself before his attendants. He made them leave so he could be alone with his brothers, and he told his brothers who he really was.
Ta-da!
He told them of his life and all he had experienced, and he forgave them for what they had done. God was with Joseph and took care of him and showed him favor.
Welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed that story about Joseph. So it's pretty crazy, right? To see his story and hear about what happened to him and how his brothers sold him, right? And then later on down the line, they saw each other again. And I think what I really love the most about this story is how even though what his brothers did to Joseph was not very kind, and Joseph had every right to be upset, he chose to forgive. And that's what I want to focus on this morning, forgiveness. So I know that a lot of us are at home during quarantine, and sometimes people might do something that can make us mad or sad and really hurt our feelings, right? It could be our brother, our sister, our friend, our mom, our dad, maybe some cousins. Anybody that you are hanging out with during this quarantine can really, sometimes they might do something, right, that will make you sad or upset. And so I wanted to talk about this because I think it's so important to forgive when things like that happen. So I want us to look at the scripture in Genesis 45, 14 through 15. I'm going to read that because that's the scripture I want us to focus on. But if you want to read the whole story of Joseph, mommies and daddies, I recommend that you guys have an awesome devotional with your kids because it's a great story. But we're going to focus on Genesis 45, 14 through 15, and it says, "Then he threw his arms around his brother Benjamin and wept. And Benjamin embraced him weeping." So they were crying. And sometimes when you give your, that person who hurt you a hug, sometimes it does make you cry, but it always makes us feel better. It says in verse 15, he says, "And he kissed all his brothers and wept over them after his brothers talked with him." And so sometimes when we are upset, we might not talk to that person, right, who made us mad. But when we choose to forgive, we get to have that friendship with them again. So I want us to do this little craft together. I already cut it out, but basically you just get any sheet, you fold it inwards like this. Then you can cut through the top. You do a little curve here and cut back down. And then I just cut two, like a little triangle, one on this side and one on this side so that it makes a coat. Because that was something in the story, if you guys picked it up in the beginning, and if you have this devotional, you might learn more about it. But Joseph was given a coat by his dad. And so I wanted us to use this colorful coat because it's a great reminder of Joseph's story. And so when you start to think about forgiveness, or if somebody makes you mad or sad, you can look at this craft that you made and think about, what is God trying to teach you? God used Joseph's story to help many people. And the great thing about it is that he was able to get along with his brothers once again. So inside of your coat, once you've colored the outside pretty, you could choose any colors that you want. Then you open it and you can look at what God was trying to teach you during this time. So here I wrote patience. So sometimes God is trying to teach us patience and to be patient with one another. Sometimes God is teaching us to be gentle when we're forgiving, right? It's really important to be gentle with each other. What about love? That's a really important one too, right? God is showing us that love isn't always easy. Sometimes it takes work and we have to be willing to forgive. You guys can see this one, it's peace. He's teaching us to be at peace with others. And listening. It's so important to listen. Because when someone is expressing how they feel, and when you express how you feel, you want someone to listen to you, right? So that's our craft for this week. I hope that you're doing well during quarantine. And like I said, I hope you can use this so that the next time somebody does something that may hurt your feelings or may make you angry, you can go back and look at your cloak and try to see what is God teaching you. And remember that it's important to forgive so that you can get along with your friends, with your family, and that you guys can be at peace with each other, hugging, kissing, talking, and having fun. All right, guys. Well, I hope this lesson really encouraged you, and I can't wait to see you until next time. All right, bye. Have a great day.